It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline, surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants, feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt, and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mental battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
It is Wednesday, 6-ish to be. It is the Square Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. The great Frankie Fresco has joined me as always. Frankie, how you doing, sir?
A little bit tired, but we're here.
Yeah.
Why is it that your video always starts to act up when we go live?
I don't know.
You look
I
like
look clear here.
you were looking crisp, and then all of a sudden you look a little bit like that dial up internet, man. I already told you, Sean. You need to change it.
Well, I don't have dial-up anymore, man. I got the hamsters on the wheel running around the backyard right now, buddy.
Well, you need to
That's
get
the way
better
we're working
answers because
Yeah.
it's looking rough out there. Anyways, everything's all good. A little bit tired, but keep pushing. A lot of work. That's a good
That
thing.
we do, my friend. Yeah, well, you're a busy man. You are a busy man.
Yeah,
How's the show on Wednesday nights going, man? How is
good, man.
everything going?
Today, 8:00, the Cameo Mix Show. We have special guest Max, the DJ, my homie, my friend from Texas. He dropped by. supporting the show. So he's gonna be dropping a mix along with, I always do a mix on the show. So it was good. We're gonna show's on like a little bit less than 2 hours. So probably after we're done here, probably be able to listen to it. Check out my Instagram and on X. Actually, you know what? Let me post it on X. On the Fresco, I'll have the link as well. So after the show.
Make sure you go check it out. Support the man. Support the man.
So first tune in.
And also afterwards, if they can't get to it tonight on SoundCloud, right? Or where's that?
We do.
SoundCloud
Yes. So, well, here we go. So we have the show every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? And then you could catch the replay Saturday as well in the same IGR Miami. The replay's at 5, and if you cannot listen to either or, and you want to listen to the replay a little bit sooner, on Fridays I go ahead and I play it on my Mixcloud, the Fresco Music Mixcloud, so you could catch it there as well. So it's like you get all the opportunities to listen to the show. So it's not bad.
Amazing. Get a lot of Frankie Fresco for the dollar right there, buddy. That's a lot of Frankie Fresco. I love it. All right, man. We're gonna get started. We're gonna dive into a couple of topics that were brought up through some podcasts and things like that today. And then also, the only thing I really do want to go over with you is the updated card for next week, since we are on Wednesday now, not on Tuesdays. The NXT Homecoming. I mean, I've heard of this Homecoming card before, but my goodness, NXT Homecoming. They spiced it up last night, and we'll discuss that before we go off the air today. But I want to get into the topics first. The first one is going to be something Bryan Danielson said. I kind of went off topic because apparently I didn't even follow my own notes correctly, and I put this one first. So I'm just going to go off of whatever pops up on my side of the editor board here. So I apologize, Frankie. We're going to go with the Bryan Danielson AEW, where he says AEW pays 40 to 50% of revenue to their wrestlers, in process forcing WWE to also increase pay for their wrestlers. I'm going to quote, this is the quote tweet. It says, AEW existing and being this challenger brand and being as successful as we've been has changed the landscape for wrestling, for the wrestlers themselves. Wrestlers are being paid more now than ever from a sports rights perspective. For example, in most major sports in the United States, the players get anywhere between 40 to 50% of the revenue. WWE was paying their wrestlers nowhere close to that. Now, keep in mind, they're still not paying anywhere close to that, but they do have to pay more, because if they don't, the talent is going to leave and go to AEW. AEW does pay that 40 to 50% of their revenue to their wrestlers, despite making much less money. Frankie Fresco, what can you take from that, my man?
Well, I mean, number one thing, it's good, right? It's nice that wrestlers are getting paid better than they were getting paid back in the day. It is forcing WWE to also increase pay for the wrestlers. But I will say this: even though he's saying these things that are very good for the wrestlers, in a way, Sean, and you might say, Frankie, you're wrong, or maybe you'll say I'm right. It's kind of like supply and demand, right? Right, my friend? If their pay goes up, then in order for you to watch them, you have to pay a little bit more to watch them. That's how I'm getting the vibe from WWE now. Now, I'm not sure if that's me quoting it perfectly, but yes, I'm going to go that route. I'm going to say that, yes, they're increasing the pay for the wrestlers, but WWE is not going to lose out. So WWE is going to go out of their way and say, hey, look, we're going to get it from you guys, the fans that are watching. I think that's why you're seeing so much subscription basis stuff going on left and right. And you're seeing us have to cough up a little bit more than what we usually do. Is it right? I don't know. That's up to you. If you're willing to enjoy watching it. I mean, I think it also happens to us a lot when we go to a sporting event, right? The more nowadays to go to a sport event, I mean, I'm a Dolphins season ticket holder. Dolphins were good. It weren't that good a couple years ago. The tickets were cheaper. They were good the last couple seasons. Tickets are going up. They're sucking balls now again, so probably will go back down. But I think 1 and 2 kind of correlate with one another. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, well, I go back to, again, how it was back before Vince broke up the territories. There used to be a set, whatever it was, 80% of the house went to the wrestlers, and it was broken down by the main event and everything else, because at the time, main event was figured they're bringing in, that's why we always say thank you for the house to the ones in the main event, because that's who is the drawing power. Now, the only problem I have, and again, I just think it's a bad business model. Yeah, I mean, when you say that NBA and all them teams are paying, they don't have a $135 million TV deal. They're getting a little bit more for their TV rights. There's also a lot of revenue sharing going on in some of these sports that isn't going on in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're giving 40 to 45% of your revenue, that seems a lot, man. And I'm not taking it. I'm happy they're getting paid. I am. But when I read it and was like, so you're telling me Tony Khan can cough up 40 to 45% of the revenue to go to just the wrestlers? Because you still got to pay the logistics. You got to pay the building. You got to pay anybody else that's affiliated. And you've already got 50% of that money going in. And again, it's cool. The wrestlers are getting paid more. But when I look back at it, I'm kind of thinking like, they're in it to make a profit. To me, Tony Khan's not running this as a business. He's running this as a hobby. And he can because it's his money. It's his, it's their money. They can do what they want to do. But if you're paying, because now, here's my other question for you, Frankie. And I don't mean this. Well, I mean, I guess I do mean it, what I'm going to say, but I don't mean it probably as harsh as it's going to sound. If I'm paying those wrestlers 40 to 50% of the revenue, some of those gals and guys need to start delivering.
Oh, I agree 100%.
I mean, if you're paying them 40 to 50% of your revenue, I better be getting a lot more bang for my buck.
I mean, look, man, I don't feel like Tony Khan is running it as a hobby. I think he's putting pressure on the competition, and he's opening it up.
But he's not going to do that because they're not. Because the problem I have with that, Frankie, is that you can say he's putting pressure on them, and all they're going to do is they're going to give Roman a raise. They're going to give CM Punk a raise. They're going to give Cody a raise. They're going to give the guys that are draws and gals that are draws the raise. And the other ones, they're going to say, yeah, you're replaceable. Go get 40 to 50% of their revenue over there. And see how it works out. Rusev, Aleister Black. Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, or Ricky Starks for you. I'm sorry. So it's not necessarily working out for them if that's the route they're going.
I mean, we don't know a list of wrestlers. We could only 100%. Assume. We could only assume.
Yes. Yep,
so 100%. I mean, you could say maybe Rick. I don't think Ricky Saints, way more better name Ricky Starks, was getting paid anywhere near that 40 to 50, in my opinion. I think that's why he left. I do feel maybe MJF is one. Will Ospreay's another one. Okada might be another one. Mercedes Moné is definitely one.
What they're saying is all the wrestlers as one make up 40 to 50% of the revenue for the wrestlers. Now, yes, Mercedes might have 50% of that 40 to 50%. They're the higher ranking ones.
Yeah.
But they have put all, 40 to 50% in for the wrestlers being paid. You know
I
what I'm
don't.
saying? I mean, now Mercedes may be making the 50% of the revenue, but all of the talent combined that they have signed is figured into that number.
I mean, look, man. I don't have a problem with the wrestlers making more money and taking up that amount of money in
Hmm.
that
I mean,
business.
again, yeah, and we talk about it all the time because when we go back and forth, the value is what you're going to pay for something.
Of course.
You put value on it depending on what you're going to pay for. That's why I always say with what WWE does is if they don't think you're there, they're going to let you go. They're going to let you walk. If you're not, what we need, then boom, go ahead.
Yeah.
See if we can get to that later, so.
And at the end of the day, if you know, if Tony Khan sees that, if you look at it like if he's just going ahead and treating it as a hobby, and that's how much money he has to splurge because he's probably not making revenue, it's gonna catch up to him eventually, bro. Because I mean, you're spending a lot of money. Like at the end of the day, if you're not making any money, so it won't last. It could last a couple years, but eventually he's gonna run into issues where he's gonna start seeing himself more in red than in the positive side, and that's when you're gonna have to start making adjustments in people's pay or eventually shut it down.
Yeah, I know he's said, and again with the TV deal, the thing with everybody's like, oh, AEW is gonna go out. No, man, the TV deal keeps them fine. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. And when they go maybe with the other deal, they'll be even maybe a little bit better. So I'm not sure, at what point if there is a breaking point to where they go, because again, as long as they keep a TV deal going, I think they'll be fine with that essence of it. The next thing I want to do, Brian Danielson was. You got more on that, Frankie? I'm sorry. Did you go and
No,
do
no,
more?
no,
Or are you
no, no. Go ahead.
okay? Okay, no. Brian Danielson, and again, this was also from. Forgot to get the podcast it was on. It was from the John Bernard K, and so that was his interview that Brian Danielson had there. And the next comment I'm going to do, he was on with Ringside News, and they put out this one with a comment that he made from the interview about Cody Rhodes. And again, I will preface this by saying I don't think it was aimed at Cody Rhodes, okay? That's where I'll leave this whole thing with. He was on an interview with Karaus Brothers. He reflected on AEW's overall impact. That you saw a little bit of a snippet with the money there, but he said if AEW wouldn't have started, would Cody Rhodes be where he is right now? No. They have a megastar because AEW exists. Would CM Punk ever have come back? Probably not. And again, I can't argue any of that, but I found it interesting because I saw people saying that he was taking shots at Cody and things like that. To me, no, he's just being truthful.
Well, okay.
Again,
Well,
if
I'll play devil's advocate here. I do feel, and what's up, Adrian? I
no,
see
go ahead.
you.
Right.
Um, I do feel that he is taking a little bit of shot at Cody Rhodes, and he is taking a little shot at CM Punk as well. Because you got to understand one thing. You're right. Those guys probably would not have been as big as they are now, and maybe one of the reasons why they would have made their way back to the WWE if it wasn't for AEW. But keep in mind, subliminally, CM Punk, not so much CM Punk, but Cody has taken shots on AEW. Punk is more direct. Punk doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
So
But the only thing I would say this, go finish, Frankie. I'm sorry. I cut you off. Sorry,
no,
jump
no,
in.
no.
Go ahead.
Cody Rhodes. At the end of the day, should Brian Danielson go ahead and mention these things and point out these factors? Yes, because at the end of the day, I'm being very, very blunt with you and with everybody tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like and don't forget to hit the subscribe. These guys have kind of given the finger to AEW. If you kind of look at it, they have gone ahead and they said, "Screw this crap. I don't want to be there anymore." And they're not. I haven't heard them say like they were grateful. Even Cody recently, like Cody still has been feeling it, kind of like, yo, you know what? Like this and that. I wasn't being used right, and what I was saying wasn't working, and it was all Tony Khan's way of thinking now, and all that stuff. Hey, man, at the end of the day, whatever. So if you're gonna take shots at AEW, and I work for AEW right now, like Brian Danielson, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot back at you guys. No harm, no foul, right? It's all talking wrestling.
Yeah, but I guess my only question with that whole thing would be this. Besides MJF at the top of the AEW card, aren't almost all, and Hangman Page, sorry, Hangman, sorry. Trying to think through this real quick on the fly here, because I may be missing people. But everybody that is on the top came from WWE.
All right. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because
Okay, let's go.
all right. So
I'm not going to say they were used properly by WWE,
well,
but
Osprey
they
is
were
not,
with WWE before they went to AEW.
well, Osprey was not in WWE. Neither was
Okay, Will
Okada.
Ospreay. Okay, there you go. All right, there you go.
Neither was Okada. You these guys.
Okay, but did they make their name in AEW?
No, they made their name in New Japan Wrestling. Oh, we got some phone calls.
I asked Gemini a question. Apparently, it was going to answer me and give me a Chat GPT
Oh,
on the AEW question. Yeah,
should have heard that. We should have gotten the response. Heard the answer. The Young Bucks. The Young Bucks were not made in WWE.
Oh yes, there we go. Okay, sorry, Young Bucks. I'm sorry. Yes.
Young
And Omega, I guess he was
Omega.
signed a long time ago to WWE. It wasn't Omega made his name over in Japan. You know, again, most of those guys made their name in Japan, and now they're on top of AEW. But it's like
I feel like you're taking shots at AEW. Is this the are you like wanna like are you siding with like are you like want to take shots today?
no.
Because
What I want to say is this: everybody's has a past, right? Most of those wrestlers didn't make their name in AEW. Maybe didn't make but Brian Danielson wouldn't be there if WWE didn't bring him up. Same with CM Punk.
We don't know about that either, though.
Okay, but we don't know about CM Punk returning to WWE. We don't know about Cody being as good in WWE. But we're saying that, right? I mean, that's what you just did.
Yeah, but again, that's assumption and reality. Assumption is what you're mentioning. Reality is Cody Rhodes, CM Punk would have never made it to WWE. They made it back because of AEW and their success in AEW, and also the fact that obviously CM Punk found that it was a lot difficult. The grass wasn't green on the other side when he was in AEW, so that made him change his way of thinking. Not again, it could be also like, hey, you know what? Vince McMahon left. Now it's Triple H. But just that conversation, I think CM Punk was influenced. Once CM Punk saw, yo,
oh no, if there was still VKM, he's not coming back. He's already said. I mean, that's been said before already. It was the change, and then the fact that him and Triple H got together, because there was animosity between them as well, and they got together and said, okay, what's best for us, WWE? What's best for you, CM Punk? And it would be returning to the thing, and they dropped whatever they had, and now it's been there. But I just don't think it's fair either any way to have it go, because you don't know who is going to get you where. You don't know what door's opening up. But I do find it odd that, you know, and again, maybe if AEW's there a long time ago when Bryan Danielson, because by then I believe WCW was pretty much done or over or almost on the way out, maybe they would have made their names somewhere else. But they made their names in WWE.
Some of them did. Yes, some of them did. Some of them. Shout out to
Yes,
Samurai Radio. I see you, and no doubt, I
yes.
see you guys there as well.
What's
I,
up, buddy? We'll get you on one day.
but I will say this. This is you. The reason also he brings this up, and let's keep it real. He also was. I don't know if it was in this podcast or in the other one, or the
He's
interview.
been making the rounds.
Yeah,
He's
he's
been
been
making
making
the
rounds.
rounds.
He went out and confessed to the wrestling world that right before he signed or was in the process of getting signed with AEW, which he admitted
Mhm.
that him and Adam Cole, that when they first came to AEW, it was just at the they signed that same day or like a day or 2 days before they actually appeared. And
Yep, right for
Vince
the pay-per-view.
and Vince McMahon actually right before he was gonna go to AEW, Vince McMahon it rang, sent him a text message saying, "Hey, look, what do you think about this?" Still trying to convince Bryan Danielson to stay in WWE and resign. And Bryan Danielson text messaged him back saying, "Yo, I'm not. I mean, I gave them my word. How would you feel if I did the same to you and then left you? You know, so that's why I didn't do it." So look, man, at the end of the day, bro, it's. I mean, it's all fair and game. Like, there's gonna be wrestlers that are gonna be very talented outside of WWE, and then WWE brings them over and blows up even more. There's gonna be wrestlers that are not gonna succeed in WWE, and then that were really good, and then they won't succeed in WWE. Vice versa goes with AEW. It happens. I don't see the big issue here. I think it like I think what Adrian has said. It's all fair in the sense that I think you're gonna get good wrestlers that make it in certain companies and other wrestlers that don't make it in certain companies. So he's just saying what's in his mind. And I think because of the simple fact that CM Punk went back, because of the fact that Cody Rhodes was successful in AEW, it did open the door for those guys to go back to WWE. Would they have made it before? Probably not. But at least facts do show right now that what they did in AEW, I think influenced WWE to bring them back. And they also got paid. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, though. But also, I wish there was not this whatever agreement agreed upon that Cody signed to get out of whatever was left of the AEW deal to leave. Like, I would really like to know what the hell happened there.
I mean,
From
we
whatever
might,
side, I don't care. I don't care if it's all Cody's fault, all Tony's fault, all a little bit of both. I just would like to know where everything went wrong on this whole situation, because Bryan Danielson also went in on another. I didn't have this one, but they asked him about Tony Khan's leadership, and I wish I had it right in front of me, but I'll paraphrase it. And he said sometimes Tony trusts the wrong people, or sometimes Tony lets too many people influence creative. Not talking bad about Tony or nothing like that, but he said, I think Tony's starting to realize some of this. So I'm wondering if, maybe somebody was in Tony's ear and turned him on whatever Cody was doing, which then in turn escalated that whole thing out of control to where it couldn't be, brought back. One day I would love to just hear exactly how everything kind of just went down.
well, look what
I would love.
if you look at the chat right now, Kai points out something could have very interesting here. He says, couldn't you argue that AEW had a lot of credibility due to stars from WWE feeling a specific way, especially for the US audience?
Yeah,
And
that's your Swerve, that's your Ricochets, that's your Athenas, Tony Storm as well. I mean, Tony Storm sat down on the Marked Out podcast MVP, and she said, I wish somebody in WWE would have gave me some direction on what they wanted, and then I would have went with it. I didn't have any kind of no idea of what they wanted from me. And I think sometimes that's the thing, and it's really going to lead into our next topic when we finish this, is I feel like if you want to be a pro wrestler and you want to be they even use it as a tagline now, right? We're the best wrestler or whatever the hell AEW says now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're the best wrestler, right? WWE is what? Sports entertainment. There's a difference there. And I think that's where the disconnect happens. Because if you have been successful in WWE or you've been around WWE, you start to understand how much the entertainment aspect has to kind of align with what's going on in the ring to make the fans invest in you. You don't have to be the greatest wrestler, but you got to be able to have something to make them invest in.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of. I think you have to have a little bit of both. You have to have a little bit of entertainment in you, and you also have to have the wrestling skills. You need to have a little bit of each, in my opinion, in order for you to be successful. I think that is what makes like a Stone Cold Steve Austin stand out. That was what made The Rock stand out. The entertainment portion is very, very crucial in wrestling because people want to hear you talk. People want to enjoy the show.
I think it's more important in WWE than it is in AEW.
I think WWE puts more focus on it.
Yes, okay.
I think that's where AEW kind of falls short. But if you look at some of the entertainment side of the AEW, if AEW would just focus a little bit more on the entertainment portion of the wrestling business, I think they'll be way much successful. I mean, look at their stars. MJF is entertaining, not because of what he brings to the ring only, but because he's entertaining outside of the ring. Toni Storm is huge over there, but it's because she's entertaining along with her and her wrestling is not the greatest either. So
and they're okay in the ring. They're okay in the ring, but they have the entertainment aspect. Yeah.
Look,
and MJF's probably above that.
I was watching Monday Night Raw, right? And when I saw Monday Night Raw, I tuned in and I was like, holy crap. Rusev versus Penta. And then I look back and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Penta was in AEW and so was Rusev was in AEW. Did those guys ever fight in AEW? I don't recall. I think they probably did. But it goes to show you that in WWE, Rusev right now is having like a good like pop right now, right? And Penta has been really good from the moment he came in.
Mm-hmm.
I think WWE did a great job putting those two together and showcasing them on Monday night. And they had a pretty good match. So it's like entertainment does play a big dividend, and the wrestling also gets you where you got to go. And it could lead you to be the biggest wrestler on the show if you're entertaining.
MJF ratings go up when MJF is on. I'm just saying, the proof is in the pudding.
And it's always been like that, right?
Show, yeah, but the problem with it is like
back in the day.
Yeah, but you look at AEW, you put MJF on a card, whatever he's doing, and the numbers go up. When he's not on there, the card can be just as good. The numbers go down. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the correlation is. But MJF, the factor that's not on that show. Because, look, and No Doubt said, so he's calling that now, hasn't AEW been doing more of the entertainment lately? They've been doing more storylines with the Death Riders and some of the other things, and you got the Daniel Garcia thing now hinting about it. The Chris Statlander thing still dragging on with the Death Riders. Darby's hunting everybody down and just taking everybody out. So you get there's a lot more storylines going on, but I don't know whether it's more entertainment. And I say that because I'm going to go on to the next topic. Are you good with that, Frankie, if I go on to the next topic here? Because it kind of correlates in with what we've been talking about. Booker T on Esports Insider, he was asked about Joe Hendry and his future in WWE. And I'm sorry this didn't come out better on the board here, but I'm going to read it out. He said, he is not the greatest wrestler in the world or anything like that. But that's not what wrestling is. And I think so many people have gotten caught up in going out and having a 5-star match, they have forgotten about the art of professional wrestling is. And that's making fans believe and feel a certain way. The biggest era I always thought was the Attitude Era. And the reason why, it was because of the fan participation. The fans wanted to be involved. They had their chance. They came with their signs. We had more signs in the building back then than you could imagine. It's because of the fans. We let the fans be a part of the show. I think that's something a guy like Joe Hendry does very well, and a guy like Trick Williams also. So, and then I sent that to you guys earlier as saying, has he figured out what some of the problem with AEW is? Because they have great matches. You cannot, if you're a wrestling fan and you go there and watch the wrestling matches, it's great. But there's nothing there that makes me invest to come back to. And that's where the fan participation. Look, Joe Hendry is so, most of the time the shit is so corny, right? It's like, you say his name. Last night, the guy's going to chokeslam the guy, and he goes, "Where's Joe Hendry now?" And boom, you said his name, and guess what? He appeared, breaking through the wall, like the Kool-Aid Man. You know, and even like, you know, Trick Williams whooped that trick with this song. Like,
Yeah, no, but I
get
think
the fans
I don't know.
involved.
I don't agree with Booker T bringing up in Trick Williams. Joe Henry, when it comes to entertainment, is way better. Trick Williams is not entertaining. Like Trick Williams does his thing, but he's not like a funny dude, and his whole persona. I
No,
think
but
he
it's
just
the
name
whoop
dropped
that
him.
you get the fans. You get the fans involved into the whoop that trick thing when he was coming to the ring.
The fans
Over
are gonna get
Femi, when he does that walk, when he does that little walk to the ring, like the fans pick up on that little thing when he comes out to the ring. There's little things. If you watch a lot of the, you know, the WWE guys, LA Knight, it's LA Knight. They get the fan involved, right? Jey Uso comes through the crowd, the fans are involved. You know, Seth, the song they sing, fans are involved. There's a lot of fan involvement and interaction in a lot of things that they use. Does that translate over to AEW? To me, it translates over to the ones we keep saying. MJF. He sits there and he calls, what he say? I'm your scumbag and you're the scumbag. And then he yells at the crowd. Tony Storm. The fans are sometimes involved in her performances. You know, Mercedes Moné with their CEO thing and everything. The fans have caught on a little bit more on that. So when you get the fans involved, to me, it makes them invest at least somewhat in the character. No?
Yeah, no, I agree to a certain extent because let's keep it real. You also, I mean, you guys are saying, hey, look, AEW does, like Adrian just wrote, saying great matches, but it doesn't make you want to keep watching. Well, there's some Monday Night Raws and some SmackDowns that, yeah, they have great entertainment and stuff like that, but then you see us giving them a shitty ass grade because the show sucked. Even though you had the great entertainment, right? Like the last pay-per-view was, I gave it a C. And yeah, you had storylines, you had all this stuff, but it wasn't it didn't live up to expectation in my eyes. I thought it was a boring card. So it's like, yes, I get the point of the whole entertainment. Yes, I am gonna still tune in and stuff like that. And since I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, I'm gonna tune into both brands. But at the end of the day, it also, you know, the entertainment portion is big, but you have to be able to wrestle, bro. And if you're not able to wrestle, like I again going back a little bit to Monday Night Raw, Nikki Bella versus, I think it was Asuka. Uh, you saw how Nikki Bella, all of a sudden, when she was gonna do that turnaround kick, she actually turned around and looked this time because she knew that she screwed last time with the Becky Lynch. And in the Becky Lynch match, everybody booed the crap out of them because they sucked. Because that wrestling match sucked. So the entertainment, Nikki Bella's great, Becky Lynch was great, but that wrestling match between those two girls was so fake and didn't feel real, and they were so off that people didn't like it, and people were like, I didn't sign up to watch this.
Yes. But then she sits there and wiggles her hips and the fans forget and start cheering for her again.
Yeah, obviously, maybe a couple of episodes later, a couple Monday nights afterwards. Yes, correct. You're right about that. But I'm saying though, like that's why when you say, hey, look, you gotta have some wrestling talent, you do. And then also, let's keep it real. WWE has kind of let some of these guys go a little bit more than usual. Before they were being restrained. Penta does a lot of work outside. You see them leaping out. You've seen these tag team matches where you have the ladders, tables, and chairs matches and all that stuff, and you see the Street Profits, or you see Motor Machine Gun. You see any of these guys going ahead and leaping. Who's another one? All these guys are jumping, going off the ropes and stuff. WWE did not do that back in, like, they're letting them be a little bit more free with
Well, yeah,
what they're able
they've
to
got
do.
to come.
And I
You've
think,
got to allow. You have to develop though. You have to evolve too though. You can't stay in the barbaric age that Vince McMahon was. You can't say the word wrestling announcers. You can't do this. It's not, like we're past that. It's wrestling has evolved. But also now you're seeing a lot more of the botches and the things you didn't see traditionally on WWE because you are allowing this. And also, there's no live events anymore. They started it, but it's really super shows now to where it's really just a couple, like, I think they had like a 6-man tag that it was Punk, LA Knight, and Ray Phoenix one time. And then they flipped it, and it was La Park, I think, on with the team against them. So, but it used to be you would have the house shows, and you would have, say, for instance, using what we just saw recently, it would be Becky and Asuka against Nikki Bella and Bailey. But that would allow Nikki Bella and Becky to work on moves and things like that.
Mhm.
And then you can, then when you get to the singles match, you already have that timing. That's not there anymore. You're trying to do that like hours before the show, and you might hit it. You might hit it that one time right before the show starts. But guess what? You haven't wrestled for 10 minutes, and you're not blown up. You're not, trying to remember you got to play to the crowd too. And now you go to do it again, and wait, where'd she go? Where'd she go? She was there every other time, and that's where again, it's getting to do something over and over and over, like muscle memory. That's what the live shows were before, and then you go to towns that you may not go to for Raws and SmackDowns. You hit your little War Memorial auditoriums and things like that.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, because I see what you mean by, hey, muscle memory and all that stuff. But if you're a wrestler and you're continuously doing this work, you know the game. You've done it. You just didn't start wrestling. You've been wrestling for quite some time now. The habits of, like, hey, let me not just jump on the rope and then flip and do a drop kick on somebody because that person's supposed to be there. Those little nuggets where you're like, let me turn around first to make sure that person's on the spot before I make that wrestling move. Wouldn't you say that comes with the territory? Like, wouldn't you feel like, hey, if I'm a wrestler, because you're not always gonna wrestle guys and gals that have been in the game or that are
Right,
really, really
but
good
that's
and
what,
all that
again,
stuff.
that's where the live shows came into the handy because Nikki Bella might hit the rope and go up. Becky Lynch might hit the rope and go out. Everybody has a different way of doing it. I mean, yeah, in totality, the move set kind of stays the same. But if a person, gets more height, they come down a little softer. If they come at you straight like a bullet, it's a little faster and a little bit harder. So now you have to make sure you get the base for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's little things that, yes, the base of wrestling is, yes, you do all this stuff. But again, without knowing what was supposed to happen there, and I'm kind of going to err toward Becky because she's been a lot more in the ring than Nikki has recently. There was a miscommunication. Nikki thought she could go up to it, hit it, and just bounce back and hit the kick. That was not what happened. So, again, I don't know what the right and wrong answer that want to be here, but yeah, you as a wrestler, you know certain things, but you also don't know how everybody's gonna come at you because
Yeah, but
if you
Sean,
don't work with them,
let's
now
say,
they throw it in there. And
so let me ask you this, because we'll go back to what just happened recently, right? AJ Lee came back. AJ Lee went ahead, tackled the crap out of Becky Lynch. It looked real. It got her a black eye, if you
it
noticed
was real.
on
Yeah,
Monday night,
busted her black
and
eye.
that
Yeah,
and it was
she nailed
really
it first time.
and it was really, really good, right? It was
Yeah,
really, really good. Now, if you go back to that Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, remember when Nikki Bella was slamming Becky Lynch against the table? I mean, it was blatant that Becky Lynch was clearly not acting like if she
yeah,
had hit the table. Those are things that are not something that you need to choreograph, in my opinion. That's just something that you should know how to
it,
sell.
yeah, but also that could go the fact that she doesn't trust Nikki Bella, so she's protecting herself.
That's a good point.
Whereas with AJ Lee, they might have a better because my understanding is CM Punk and Seth are best buds backstage. Now, there might be something there where they're like, "Look, come in a house of fire. You nail me. We apologize later. Just come in and make this sell it,
That's a
make
good
it
point.
look good.
That's a
I
good
don't care if you hit me the first time. We'll figure it out." And that's what they did because they understand. This is all me talking, by the way. My thing is, she knows she can make money with AJ Lee and CM Punk, not as much money with Nikki Bella.
point. Ah, damn, it's all everything is. I mean, everything's politics, right? It's like
It is.
that's a good point. That's a very solid point. I could understand why, and we spoke about this, right? We spoke about this, I think last week or the week before, when I told you I'm not gonna go ahead and let anybody throw me through a table. But if it was you, I know you, I have trust in you. If there's anybody who's gonna be able to throw me through a table, it would be Sean, because that's the person that I know and I trust. I wouldn't
To
let
be
Adrian.
honest, what
I
we
wouldn't
would
let
do is
Adrian or No Doubt throw me through a table, because those guys will definitely hurt me.
but what we would do is we'd set it up to where you take your own bump through the table, sir.
Yeah,
I would just guide you nicely. That's the whole thing with the bump. You're not really like I'm not putting you there. You're putting yourself to the table. I'm just guiding you down, buddy.
there you go. But yeah, I
Oh,
mean, I agree.
oh,
I agree what Booker T had to say about, like, for example, Joe Henry, and I think Joe Henry is entertaining, and he is not the
yeah,
greatest wrestler out there. We could tell.
not at
Uh,
all.
and
Not at all.
the crazy thing, the first time I saw Joe Henry, like, in a main stage, was when he fought against Randy Orton, right? And you noticed a difference between the size of Joe Henry and Randy
Yep.
Orton. Before then, I actually thought Joe Henry was like a really tall, big, strong guy, but then you see him next to Randy Orton, and you're like, "Oh crap, this guy is not that big. This guy is not."
I
Or
remember
Randy, he's
Randy Orton's he's 6'4", 280. Legit. Like, I mean, that dude's built he's a VKM specimen. That's what Vince McMahon wants all his wrestlers to look like. That. But think about it when you go back to the day. Like, everybody was pretty cut up if you were on top. You had your couple, Mick Foley, and what was Mick Foley wearing? Jogging pants and a long sleeve shirt. You never saw anything of his body. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Like,
no, no,
it was, you're
nothing
not seeing
jiggled,
that.
nothing jiggled out there, bro.
A lot was jiggling under Mick Foley, but nothing you could see.
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, no doubt in the comments, I turn Raw on an hour in, skip over some matches and parts of some matches to get to story all the time. Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. Guy says, I think on the entertainment aspect, it also matters with how you grab the audience attention. I'll grab the audience's attention. For me as a kid, I saw CM Punk talking about anti-drugs, alcohol, and that made me stick with him. Yeah, again, but that's where you get invested because they hit you on some level, And that's the other thing, like with most heels, MJF and all that stuff. It's like where it's not really me doing the wrong. It's people wronging me, and I'm trying to be the right one here. MJF does it great. Hangman Page, when he was doing the heel thing, did it great. It also made me want to follow him regardless of match quality. Yeah. I mean, I think most people, if you start following them, and speaking of match quality and people that doesn't, I'm going to go to the next topic. My favorite is back in the news. Your favorite girl, too. Ronda Rousey.
Hell yeah. So proud of Ronda out there.
Ronda Rousey is
Speaking
back
of
in it. And you ask, wait, what is Ronda Rousey doing back in the news? And I don't know how long ago this
this is
interview
great
was
photo
from, honestly.
too. Great,
Yeah,
great.
I took it straight out of WWE.com right there.
That was
Right there. Straight out of WWE.com.
great photo of her. Yes.
Great. That was when she was the rowdy one. She was talking about a 2018 feud with Alexa Bliss as an example of what she thought was flawed decision making. She said, the fact they had me fighting Alexa Bliss at all was effing ridiculous. And you want to know why they had me against Alexa Bliss? Because she had the most merch sales at the time. Like, what the F? That's your decision-making process? Yeah, it's called business. It's called business.
You want
the person pushing your merchandise at the top of the card.
you
Ronda Rousey.
You clearly can tell that Ronda Rousey had no clue whatsoever how the wrestling world works, right? This is not the UFC, ma'am. I mean, this is not only based on talent. It's entertainment, and it's money. So she saying that was foolish. There was a lot of I even saw the post and I saw a lot of people comment and a lot of people were saying Ronda Rousey should have been thanking Alexa Bliss for giving her that match because Alexa Bliss is way better than her, and I think that's why Alexa Bliss is still wrestling and Ronda's out. So yeah, Ronda Rousey is wrong on that one. I will give her props on this though. Amazing turnaround, that woman's body. That woman has recovered herself really well after having kids. Like I give her props for that.
Yes. I mean,
She's been
she's a
posting
freaking
videos.
athlete.
No, but
I can say what I want to say, but she's an athlete and she's very disciplined in her everything that she does. I'll never question any of that. I just didn't like it because she wanted to bring UFC to wrestling, and it doesn't work that way, man. I get it. You could kick Alexa Bliss's ass on the street. You could kick my ass on the street. But that's not what pro wrestling is. That's the problem. And then your boy came out, MJF. He he took a shot at Ronda Rousey for naivety and about the industry, saying it's almost like pro wrestling, much like any professional sports function, as a business. Effing crazy.
I mean, come on, man. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. Like, come on, man. And Ronda Rousey should have get this. Like, come on. When you're look at what we saw in Triple Mania on their last I think it was their last pay-per-view where you saw Omos going against the little midget guy. In real life, micro what?
Microman.
Yeah, I forgot.
Microman, right? Microman?
Micro something. I forgot. Great freaking and I don't know if they teamed them up. I haven't been watching AAA. I'm gonna watch AAA.
That would be the one maker.
I remember they had a picture together, so that was that. So maybe they were gonna team up.
Together.
But I know that AAA. I think their event is on Friday because Dom brought it up that he's gonna go after that belt against Vikingo on Friday. So
and they keep teaming up Lola Vice and the Iguana.
Yeah, bro, they're pushing Lola a lot with the Iguana, bro. And that's a very good example of another person using the entertainment side and social media to keep growing. Because check this out. If you're looking at it, like Lola Vice, is she the best wrestler out there? Absolutely not. Is her wrestling the greatest? It's a little bit lackluster. Kind of like Shayna Baszler. The girls that came from the...
It's a lot lackluster. It's a lot lackluster, but she moves well. I'll just leave it at that.
Absolutely. And not only does she move well, she knows how to use social media very well. She's out there continuously showing herself, and even when she's hanging out with Damian Priest or when she's at a Bad Bunny concert, people tune in. You got me tuning in. I'm watching her stuff. So then when you have her, you see her, and then obviously she's from Miami, so I'm definitely going to represent her there. I'm going to definitely tune in to watch her. Those things have helped her. And then that's where, her character elevates. And I think WWE saw something smart there. They were like, "Hey," and if you start listening to that AAA crowd when she's over there, bro, the
Oh,
crowd it gets loud.
yeah.
Like people are loving her over there. And again, she's Cuban. She's Cuban American, so she has Cuban roots in her. So they when they announce her at AAA, they say, "Hey, look, they mentioned Cuba for her." So they know how to sell it.
Mhm.
So yeah. So Ronda Rousey just I don't know, she's an idiot. Like she should have not said that. Like she's dumb for saying stuff like that. But you know,
It just goes to show that she didn't understand the business side of it. Again, she came in with making buku dollars because they gave her big contracts because of her name that she made in the UFC, by the way. Okay. She made in the UFC, and that's why she got signed by WWE. Not
exactly.
sure if you understand that. I
Yeah.
mean, they're just in case Brian Danielson wasn't aware of, I just want to make sure. Other people they come from all around.
I mean, maybe look, like, I'm not trying to make joke of this, but she did mention that she suffered a lot of concussion back in the day. So
Oh, yeah, yeah, but
maybe she's still a little bit concussed, not knowing how the business works in wrestling and in a
yeah,
lot of sporting
yeah.
events too, right? So
I can believe that. I'll take. All right, we'll let that one slide. Now on to a lighter subject because we've already talked about this before. Triple H was on the Pat McAfee show, and interesting they ran him over. He ended the ESPN portion and stayed on through a little bit of the just the YouTube part, but they asked him a lot of things going on. But then he asked about the criticism that has been on WWE Unreal. And this is what he said. And it's a long, drawn out thing because Triple H is very good at what he does. So he covers it all here. He says, the internet is all complaining that we're lifting the curtain and showing you stuff. Meanwhile, they're doing a podcast where all they're doing is talking about the behind the scenes shit that's going on. I don't understand the logic. The world knows an 8-year-old kid lifts up his phone, Google stuff, and knows how all the behind the scenes stuff works right there. So being able to see it, we're still not showing you how the trick is done. We're still not showing you how the guy levitates. We're still not showing you any of the stuff. But to me, what the show does is show you the heart, soul, and passion that everybody puts into that product to make it great for fans. It's not taken as the most serious thing on the planet. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to be a good time. If you're a fan, you already know. If you're a fan watching what makes you think, man, they put a lot into this, I'm interested in watching that now. I learned something about these people as human beings, not just as characters that interest us. I've heard a lot of people say that. So we're at fault, Frankie Fresco. But although I never took exception. I love the Unreal thing. I've watched it 3 times so far, from beginning to end. So
I haven't watched it. I watched maybe like one of the episodes, and then after that, I've been so busy with all the other stuff that I haven't been able to go back and tune in. Some of the episodes that I did get to watch a little bit, some of them were entertaining, some of them were kind of boring.
yeah,
Um, but I heard that the last couple episodes were a lot better than the first ones.
well,
Um,
because it was getting to the WrestleMania and the bigger events than not just
yeah.
the build-up. So
But I mean, him saying that the internet is all complaining that we're lifting the curtain and showing the stuff. Are we really getting people complaining? Like, I don't see many people complaining about it. Like,
well, there are
people,
people complaining that, like, again, it's that part of the fan base of everywhere. You're not going to make them happy no matter what you do.
how many
Because to
viewers
me,
did they watch? Did they find out the numbers that they got for that for those Unreal? Because I mean, again, if they say, and it's kind of like a double edged sword, right? Because if they're complaining that they're lifting the curtain, then those people who are complaining just don't watch it. It's that simple. Like, if you're gonna bitch about it, just don't watch it. Like me, I don't watch it, so I'm not complaining about it. Now, other people want to see it and they want to see behind the scenes, and some people like it, and some people are gonna be like, "Yo, I want to see more about it." It's kind of the same thing, like in the NFL with Hard Knocks and all that stuff. Like they want to see certain things, and you want to see a little bit more in depth, and they reveal a little nuggets here and there, but they're not even gonna reveal everything. So I don't know what's the deal, man. I think it's just dumb for people to complain about stupid shit like that because it's on you, man. You don't want to see it. You don't
Yeah,
want to know
don't go watch
yeah. You don't want to see behind the what happens for us. Just don't watch it.
it's not like they monopolized every network and it's the only thing on TV. I mean, you have to go to Netflix to watch it.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, it's not even
literally.
like it's on USA every day at 4 o'clock. Unreal comes on. No, you have to literally go to Netflix and watch it.
Yeah, go look. You gotta go look for it, and then press play and be like, I'm gonna watch it. I thought at the end of the
Just
day,
crazy stuff.
it's just foolishness of people sometimes.
It's just people wanting to complain about whatever, man. And also, maybe there's not as many complaining. It's just the ones that are complaining you see because people retweet them and everything else, so then they start getting everywhere. Um, those kind of the topics, Frank. You got any other topics you want to discuss, or do you want to talk about this new updated NXT Homecoming card, buddy?
No, I mean, I know we haven't talked a little bit about SmackDown or Raw. I don't know if you want to get
Yeah.
into that. I mean, it was a pretty solid SmackDown. I like the AJ Lee situation coming back. I like the fact that they finally set up AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Seth and Becky Lynch. I thought the segment was pretty good. I also thought that at the end of the day, like I told you guys earlier, I love the Penta versus Rusev. A little. I will say this. I'll go on a limb, and I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with me, man. But I want Jey Uso to become a heel. I think Jey
Yes,
Uso will be a
I
way
like what
more
they're doing with that
better.
whole thing. Yes.
I think him being a heel is gonna be beneficial for him at the end of the day. I think he
I
needs to go that
I
route.
love the whole thing where they brought out and he's like, "You're starting to turn into Roman," and it's like you get little tidbits, Like I mean, it's not like he necessarily is because he's still doing his thing with the crowd and all this stuff, but there's little instances to when he gets like, for instance, um, the whole thing with LA Knight. LA Knight almost hits him. They're like, "Oh, we're cool." LA Knight moves out of the way. Bronson splashes him, and it's like, oh, as soon as his blood rises, it's like, oh, it's like the tribal chief is just rising up in him, and you see it come out. Because even like last night, he spears him, and then if you're watching at the end, he's like all fired up, all fired up. But before the cameras go off, you hear him say, "Now we're even. Now we're good."
I
Which we
like
all
that, man.
know in wrestling, you're never good. You're never even.
No.
So now there's going to be something there with the whole LA Knight and thing. And now I wonder if LA Knight ends up coming out and costing like Jay and Jimmy the match with the Bronze at WrestlePalooza.
I will say this too. I think they could run with this to the point where Jay can actually start like complaining. Because eventually he could go out and kind of do what a lot of people like what MJF did a while back. That he said, "Hey, I gave you this, I gave you that." Also, Cena said the same thing. Now Jay could go ahead and do it
Mm-hmm.
once he becomes a hero. I used to come out of the
Yeah.
crowd and used to yeet with all you guys, and now you guys are booing me because you did see the boos out there, and all of a sudden now you're gonna start getting some more boos because obviously everybody knows that um LA Knight is the baby in this case. So I like this, man. I like this. I like Jey Uso as a baby, but I think I'm gonna love him as a heel. I think they need to do it. I
Yeah, but
think
also, I think
they're
sometimes
trending
you've
that way.
got to do that little flip. You have to keep it fresh. You don't got to turn them all the way right now heel. You just work it a little bit,
Oh
but
yeah.
it changes up the monotonous that was main event Jey Uso that couldn't win a main event. Then he wins the main event, and he only has the belt for the story starts writing itself in a way. He finally wins the big match, and then he has the belt for what, a month?
Well,
And then Gunther got it back a month or two.
if you kind of look at it too, Sean, Adrian says Jay could be the next tribal chief. Think about it. Wasn't Vince McMahon trying to feed us, you know, Roman Reigns to be a baby, and the crowd hated it? And then Eventually, they brought him in and turned him into a heel. In this case, when Jay became, main event, and people sometimes were criticizing. Some people were saying, "Hey, he should have never won the Royal Rumble. Why is he a champion? He still sucks in his mic. He still does certain things that leaves you like, what the hell is he doing? Why he's not good?" So what do? You turn him into a heel. You pretty much you're pretty much
Well,
running it back. What you did with Roman Reigns with
what
Jey
you
Uso.
do is, in a way, yes, but then also you push him as a face more and more when fans are saying he doesn't deserve it, and then you catch on tape him saying, "Oh, I'm winded. That's why I messed up. I'm winded." You make sure that gets out there. You make sure all the things are there, all the elements are there to just make that recipe to where when he does flip, it's going to be exactly as you said. Just like Roman Reigns, right? And then what do you do? He said, "It's not a spoiler." Or what he said, what did he say? "Oh, that's not a problem," whatever, the spoiler. And then they pan over and Paul Heyman's right on the sofa with him. And everybody's like, "Oh, now this guy's good. This cool guy. He's a cool guy." And that started the whole tribal chief shit. I mean, it's little things that just grow organically. And again, you got to sprinkle a little salt here, a little pepper there, and things like that on as you're mixing it around until it finally
Now, here's the only thing.
pops up and everybody on the board there.
Here's the only thing. I don't want them to tease us with this and then carry it for a while and then drop it. I don't want that. So if we're gonna go that route eventually, and it could take up to a year or even longer, but if you're gonna tease us eventually that he's gonna become a heel, let him become a heel. And the reason I say that is because I go back to what they did with the Street Profits, where they kept teasing us for a minute they were gonna break up, and then all of a sudden they kept them, and then again now they're teasing us again. I don't like that crap. Hey, run it.
Even on social media this week, Dawkins posted out, maybe he was right.
Yeah,
Maybe he was right.
But I mean, dude, just if you're gonna do something, just run with it. Don't tease us and then ignore it for like 6 or 7 months and then try to bring it back.
Or the thing that I want to do is, if you have the plan already set up, then keep doing the plan you have. But don't extend it because you want to do something else. And don't end it quickly. Although, Triple H did talk about it a little bit on the McAfee show where he's like, sometimes if we end something, somebody might have got injured. And we don't discuss injuries or injuries and things like that. So sometimes things will just all of a sudden disappear. I want to ask you this. This was not a topic, but since Josh brought it up, and I do see it here on my timeline, the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al-Sheikh, has announced that WrestleMania is headed to Saudi Arabia in 2027. So that means you get the Royal Rumble in 2026 and WrestleMania in 2027. Not sure I'm liking that WrestleMania part.
TKO, man.
But it's for sale to the highest bidder, buddy.
That's TKO, my friend. Haven't you noticed
who's traveling? Honestly, though, who's going to go to Saudi Arabia for a 2-night WrestleMania?
I mean, I could only assume like the nearby countries around that are wrestling fans are going to go and travel. But you're not.
I mean, every time they do a Crown Jewel, they're sold out. They have 100 some. I mean, they get a whole bunch of people. That's. But man, like you've really. I don't know, but it is. Again,
look, let me ask you this, because this is now interesting. I'm getting a vibe here, and the vibe that I'm getting from TKO is the same type of vibe as what FIFA does, which is greed. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, no, 100%.
We're gonna go ahead and we got to make more money. Screw it. So screw the American audience. We don't want it. We could get more money over there in Saudi Arabia. Let's take it to Saudi Arabia. Let's give them a WrestleMania over there. Hey.
Well, think about this. If they get 2 nights, the Crown Jewel event, they got twice a year for $110 million. So basically you got $55 million every time you did a Crown Jewel. They did it twice a year for 5 years. Now you're going to do a 2-night WrestleMania. I'm very interested to see how much they're getting for this one. Very interested to see what they're getting for the. You know what? I don't even know if that's out yet. I don't know how those numbers come out. I wonder how much. the Royal Rumble cost them if that's out yet.
I'm curious to see like when these
Because it's really
wrestlers,
about the money with TKO. It really is.
of course, and when you look at it, I'm gonna tell you something. The more and more I listen to certain things like this, I'm starting to have more respect to like the guys like the carrying crosses in the world, where they say, "Hey, man, you're gonna pay me this amount of money. Explain to me how," because they're banking a ton of money all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
but see, this is where the problem goes. You're saying yes, WWE is banking a lot of money. The problem is they got to cover all the other shit that TKO does bad because it all falls under the TKO umbrella.
Yeah, but there's some stuff on TKO. I mean, who's on? It's not only WWE who's successful in TKO. They have success with other stuff. I mean, isn't UCF,
You got
UCF
UFC,
UFC is very successful.
the Pro Bull Riding Association,
That's why you
the
don't
new
see.
boxing venture that they got going on now that might end up being. But also, you have to remember, TKO took all of the debt on of UFC before when they purchased it. I don't know how much of that's still left. So there's other debts that have been, accumulating. I mean, yeah, now it's all good, but
I wonder if UFC was. I mean, look how much money they paid Dana White. It's been going on for a while. UFC has had to have made TKO money. Like,
we had to remember Dana White was a member of the executives when TKO purchased it, and then they brought Dana White on as an employee for TKO.
correct.
So
But that's
he
what.
made money on the sale, and then he brought, he got a salary basically to stay on with TKO, and now he's one of the members of the board.
Sean,
executive board for TKO.
you just froze up, but I can still see you. Damn it, it went away. That was a really good image for all you guys that are tuning in and watching Sean freeze up.
Oh,
It's pretty
boy.
good.
Way
But
to
we
go.
can still
What'd I
hear
do?
you. We can hear you perfectly though. But
All right.
yeah, I
So
mean,
Saudi Arabia paid $55 million to host the 2026 Royal Rumble.
definitely they're paying well over 100 million for WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
especially since it's a 2 night event. Do I like it? You know what? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess in a way, it also is a good strategy, right? Because you don't have WrestleMania here in the States now for that 1 year. So then maybe more people are going to be enticed to want to, if they bring it back in 2028, go and watch it here because there's no guarantee
Yeah.
now that it's always going to be in the United States.
But see, I think what they're going to end up doing is I think they're just going to alternate between. It's always going to be in Vegas or Saudi every other year from now on.
I hope they don't do that with only Las Vegas because Las Vegas
I can
is not
guarantee
bad,
it's going to.
but
If they're making $100 million every other year for a Royal Rumble, I mean for a WrestleMania, I mean,
do you really think it makes sense for them to be hosting though WrestleMania every time at Las Vegas? I don't know about
well,
all
it's
that.
their home base, so they don't have to really do a lot.
Yeah, no, but that's like that's like saying that the UFC every single pay-per-view had to be in Las Vegas. No, they still did different events outside of that.
Yeah, but the big events are bidded on. Think about it, man. Indianapolis, they had to pay for the last Royal Rumble. I can't remember what they paid for it. Hold on.
Well, they're getting WrestlePalooza, which is a
Yeah.
pretty good card too. And
That's also because of ESPN, because of what I don't know. Did you hear how all that fell down, how that went down? ESPN was like, for our first day taking over, we want to have a big event that weekend. And so then they had to find a place that had nothing going on in it that could host. So then they found the stadium, and then that's how they did. And then they had to figure out a name in like 2 weeks.
damn. Question is, when are they coming back to Miami for like a main event, like for a big card? I know they've been here a couple times for Raw and SmackDown, but they haven't done anything like huge in Miami in a minute. But again, I mean, I would have loved them to come back for WrestleMania here. WrestleMania that first time was a success here in Miami. I could only imagine it could have been probably more successful if they run it back. But I know we got a couple things going on at the Hard Rock Stadium. I know that we got the FIFA World Cup and a couple of other things that are lining up on that side. So, but still, I would like to see WrestleMania come back to Miami. I know that
Yeah. Well, it
what
looks
was
like
it? Tampa?
Indianapolis is going to get a WrestleMania soon too, as well. So
Yeah, but they're also
because it
giving that.
looks like they agreed
It's Pat
to
McAfee,
future
bro.
WrestleMania and SummerSlam when they got the Royal Rumble.
It's all Pat
So
McAfee, bro. Pat McAfee is pushing that button because Pat is. That's what it is. He's the guy who's bringing it over, and then wants to go to Indianapolis. Nobody, but hey, now you got a reason to go in WrestleMania or WrestlePalooza or any of these things.
Jesus Christ, I'm reading just numbers like WrestleNomics. Um, they claim that they drew the third highest, which was above the announced gate of WrestleMania 32 in Arlington of 17.3 million. So that's just one show. A gate. That's just the gate, not merchandise and everything else. So
Oh, you're right about
got
that.
super
No,
important and successful Miami Dolphins. I can't mess with that. Yeah.
no, I know that has a very good point. He says got the super important, successful Miami Dolphins playing, so you
Yep.
can't mess with that. No, you cannot, man. They are definitely
Not at all.
something to look at. But yeah, I
All
think
right, so let's look at the homecoming card. You want to look at that real quick?
yeah, I don't even.
And then we'll
So
call it a day.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not been tuning into NXT. I saw a little bit here and there. Quick question before we jump into this: Stephanie
Okay.
Blair, she wasn't at Monday night. They didn't do the signing.
Mhm.
Was there a reason
Yep.
why? Was she sick? Or
Yeah,
was that
she had to
part?
be in Orlando for Tuesday night.
Oh, what did she do on Tuesday? I didn't watch NXT last night because I was at a DJ
If
battle.
you will just let me get to the card, my friend,
Oh my.
and I will tell you
Okay, that makes sense.
exactly what was going on.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I just
The NXT North American.
no. Is that you
Go
were
ahead,
like
sorry.
freezing?
Go ahead.
You're freezing a little bit, so I hope it doesn't freeze.
Yeah, no, I'm watching it. Yeah. The NXT North American Championship match. Ethan Page takes on
Ricochet?
Tyler Breeze.
Oh yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
Tyler Breeze.
I saw Tyler Breeze came back.
Yep. Oh, you're gonna get a very big theme here for NXT Homecoming.
Just don't tell me.
WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane.
They brought. Wasn't Tatum Paxley released?
No.
I thought she was released. I don't know why. Okay.
There's one I know you're confused, but I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. DIY versus Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes.
Jesus.
Are you getting the theme here?
Yeah.
Fatal Influence versus Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie the Care.
Now let me ask you this: Are they doing this because the ratings to NXT have been ass? Is that the reason why they're doing this?
Oh, the NXT ratings up. The NXT ratings beat Dynamite last week.
Wait, say that again.
The NXT ratings last week beat Dynamite. Dynamite dropped tremendously last week for some reason. I don't know why. What
Because
happened?
I see here WWE.
I didn't think it was a bad show, but it just
Because I'm reading here WWE NXT viewership for September 9th sees decrease despite Tyler Breeze's unexpected return. That's what I read on.
the decrease. So it's still. You said their numbers are larger than what Dynamite's pulling.
Let's see. According to Program Insider, September 9th NXT, the network averaged 654,000 viewers, essentially unchanged from the 655 viewers on September the 2nd, which is a 0.15 decrease.
Yep.
So, but
Yep.
Sean, they're not even breaking a mill. They're not even breaking a mill.
Bro, you do understand the CW's only in not a lot of houses, right?
Really? I thought CW had more because I thought it was local. That's what I thought. I thought that was you. I thought you would get more views on that than on actual like TNT or TBS for AEW.
All right. So the September 3rd AEW Dynamite. Now you know because they get 45 to 50% of the revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
472,000 is the viewership for Dynamite. September 3rd.
Damn, that number's still so low for them, man. It's terrible. I think they're taking
I mean,
taking a beating too because they don't have Will Ospreay out there, bro.
yeah, I mean, that could be too, but even when Will Ospreay, I'm telling you, the name that jumps off the page every time they have a good showing is MJF. And he hasn't been there because he's been doing his wedding and everything else. He hasn't been on the card. Although he was on Collision this past week. But I don't know if anybody knew he was going to be on Collision because it was the night of his wedding. So,
all right, so here
it was reported the day before. So.
I just Googled this just to prove my point. The CW network reaches 100% of U.S. television households with a national reach of over 330 million Americans. Over 330 million. And they're only bringing in 654, 655. They're not even cracking a mill on a Tuesday when there's nothing on TV. I don't know, man. I don't think that's good for NXT. I think that's why they're doing it. I think they're trying to get some views out there, bro. Because that at least seems kind of weak. And there's nothing on a Tuesday. What the hell is going on a Tuesday? There's nothing going on a Tuesday.
What the hell's going on a Wednesday? And you're talking about a developmental league too.
Granted,
I mean,
I understand that, but the developmental league has been running for how long now? And I'm not justifying AEW too. AEW is sucking balls too, but I'm just saying I don't think neither one of them is doing really well. I think both of them are doing pretty crappy.
but also you have to remember too, you can still watch this on apps and Peacock, and there's other ways, in HBO Max for AEW. There's other ways to watch it than just the numbers on the TV anymore.
So you could watch the
CW has its own app. I mean,
Really?
they all have the stuff. Yeah. I watch the NASCAR Xfinity race on the CW app every week.
I don't watch the racing games. The racing matches are not my cup of tea. Every once in a blue moon, I watch a race. The important ones. Yeah, I guess. Just let me ask you something. Why do you think they're bringing main roster people onto that pay-per-view then?
They're bringing back it's an NXT Legends show. That's all it is.
Mm. They got to come up with as many.
It's like when they used to do Raw, whatever it is, when they bring back all the people from before, and boom, there you go. That's what they did. But it was interesting because I looked at it, and then I didn't even mention the Grayson Waller effect has got Ricky Saints and Obafemi in it. So they even brought Grayson Waller in to make sure his name is on there as well. Because remember, he's a former NXT guy as well. So
what happened to Grayson Waller's buddy? What was his name?
Austin Theory got injured. He's out for a while.
Oh, okay. That's why he's been out. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute. Had no idea. He had hurt. Sucks for him.
Good evening there, Finn's TV.
What's up, Sammy?
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to move Trick up.
Is it true that
I don't know.
is it true that they're going to put Monday Night Raw at 7:00 now on Mondays?
Yes, starts at 7:00 this Monday. Yep.
Due to Monday Night Football, I'm assuming, right? They don't want to compete with Monday.
They're
Night.
hoping they can get an hour's worth of Raw in before football starts. So what I'm interested in seeing is if they work backwards with the show. Meaning put the big stuff happening in that 1 hour, and then if you stay on, you'll watch whatever's left, but not having any big stuff happen during the 8 to 9:30, 9:45 hour or whatever. Because it's only 2.5 hours, so. And kickoff is usually about 8:20, so you'll probably get about an hour and 10 minutes.
Do you like the 7:00 start?
I like the earlier starts. I love the 2 and 3 o'clocks. I'm not gonna lie. I love those, but it is what it is. It's no different to me because again, I can watch it after, or I don't watch. If I can't get to it live, I can't get to it live. I watch it after. So
that's true.
It's better to watch after anyways because you can stream through everything. So and I think that's also one of the things that's hurting the numbers with WWE now too, is because I think a lot of people have figured that out. And it's like, why am I going to watch it live? And I got to sit there with a 3-minute commercial break. I'll just come in later and watch it, you know. So.
Yep, I'll tell you this. I watched Monday Night Raw today, actually. And when I saw Monday Night Raw today, no commercials, baby. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So
yeah, well, if you started even like an hour later, it'll run through.
very nice.
The only problem is sometimes you'll catch up before the end, but that is what it is there. Frankie Fresco, let them know where they can see you, my man.
You guys can all catch up at Frankie Fresco or Fresco Music. Just always look for the FREZKO and you will find me. You can find me on all social media platforms. You can find me on X, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, anywhere of those platforms. And then don't forget to always tune in to the Cabio Mix Show. You guys are more than welcome to tune in. It starts at 8 o'clock. So in about just less than 30 minutes, we'll be on IGR Miami. So I have a guest DJ, my friend Max. He's kicking it in with some good music. The second portion of the show, obviously, your boy Fresco always does the first mix of the show. Plus, I put like little nuggets in there all the time, man. I have like the quote of the week in there. I'll talk about like what I did, or if I have a guest, I'll give their bio and how you could what they do, where they're from, where they're DJing, their residencies and stuff like that. So I always try to incorporate little things in the show that way people can, you know, kind of like have a connection with me in a way. But definitely tune in, and then if you can't watch it on IGR Miami, again the link is on X and on my Instagram story. But if you can't listen to it tonight, or you can't listen to it on Saturday night, on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, then you could catch it. You could catch it anytime on Fridays. I usually drop the on my Mixcloud. I drop the replays, so you guys are more than welcome to listen to it there as well. Please support me on the Mixcloud. Been growing. My numbers have been growing. I'm so proud. It's growing big time. So I'm seeing people tune in. People are watching and listening to it. So thank you everybody who's tuning in. Support Fresco if you can. The Mixcloud show. Just go to my Mixcloud, listen to it on Fridays. Even if you don't want to listen to it, just go there and hit a like. That way, my algorithms increase. And I know I'm talking. I'm going on a ramp here, but I do get ranked. So, like for example, my last episode, I when I do like certain mixes, like if I do a hip hop mix or a reggaeton mix or a rock mix or an emo or anything like that, I rank against everybody else. So the more views I get or the more people who listen, the more I'm ranked on top, and they showcase your show for people to see it. So you get a bigger audience. So my last show was in the top 20, and in the world it was in the top 50. So trying to see if I could get somewhere in the top 10 spot all the time. And it's so if you guys could do me a favor, you guys just go in there for like a quick second, hit that like for me on my Mixcloud. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I went for a minute there. Sorry.
Please, it's your platform, my man. You get to go as long as you want to go. Make sure
Nah.
you get it all out there. Make sure you get to that Mixcloud as well. Hit that like. Get the man in the top 5. Let's go top 5. He wants top 10. I want top 5 for him.
Oh,
Let's make it happen. You can get me at Stanley Media _11, Stanley Media House everywhere else. And of course, you can hit the subscribe at Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel. Also the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. Check it out on Twitch, X. If you're there, please jump over to the YouTube channels. Hit that subscribe. Hit the notifications. The Squared Circle Digest every Wednesday at 6. We got Talking Racing now Mondays at 7. And little sports nuggets will start being sprinkled in throughout one day soon. Frankie Fresco, anything else to say, my man?
This is not related to wrestling. I want to go ahead and tell all you fans that went ahead and sent very, very mean comments about my Florida Gators losing to the University of South Florida. I want to address that before the show's over. Your boy Frankie Fresco has been quiet with all due reason. I mean, there's nothing I could say about that. We sucked. We allowed a team to beat us at our home at Gainesville. Not good. Our coach, I don't know what to say. But I will say this. If there's one time I want to see the University of Miami to win, it would be this weekend. I hope